Anytime we were on the road, you like as a gunner, you're scanning the area the whole time. And you're pretty much, you wouldn't say you're expecting something to happen, but it's always in the back of your head. They detonated the IED, or a roadside bomb, about 10 yards from the truck. A big flash, and it was hot. It knocked me down in the gun box, and I remember the truck going sideways, and I could feel it starting to roll. I don't know if I woke up from the truck actually crushing the bone or not. Then I realized I couldn't really move. They medevaced me to Fallujah, the camp in Fallujah, and from Fallujah I went to Baghdad. I just knew it wasn't good.
20 years ago, we would have had few answers for specialist Hobbs. But today, translational research is starting to make advanced medicine a reality. Building on the work of basic scientists who explore science at its most elementary level, translational researchers are using the latest scientific information to develop new treatments, procedures, and diagnostic tools to help us fight disease. Across the nation, translational research is setting the foundation for discovery, paving the way for new advances in Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cancer care, among many other diseases. At Carle Foundation Hospital, we are joining the front lines of translational research, even making the commitment to become a national leader in the field by 2010. In many ways, Carle has never been better poised for medical research. We have recently cultivated a stronger relationship with the University of Illinois, home to some of the world's premier scientists. And our physician colleagues at Carle Clinic Association are joining us in our pursuit of translational breakthroughs. But most importantly, the connection between research and patient care has never been stronger.
Any research helps the patient. Anything we can advance care with, anything that we can think beyond the box, anything that leads to higher cure rates, longer survival, better quality of life, that's what's most meaningful to me. And the only way to get there is doing the research. You need to do the prospective trials. Our patients are willing to do it, our patients want to do it, they expect it, and this is where we get the best outcome.
Dr. Kendris Rowland is an oncologist at Carle Clinic Association. He's also been a driving force behind Carle's new Mills Breast Cancer Institute. When the state-of-the-art facility opens in 2008, it will offer the latest treatments and technology, but it will also be home to some of the nation's top breast cancer researchers. They will investigate hormone therapy, how genes can help us predict which breast cancer patients will respond to which treatments, and how to best treat the chronic health issues associated with breast cancer, as well as other projects.
So if we can do that translational research, find out what genes are appropriate, that'll tell us what patients are likely to respond, we can save a lot of people a lot of unnecessary therapies, and maybe some side effects.
One of the most promising translational research studies is already well underway. For the past 5 years, Dr. Stephen Bopart and his team of University of Illinois scientists have been working on new imaging technology using optical coherence tomography. The technology is similar in concept to ultrasound, focusing beams of near-infrared light into tissue to measure the intensity of the reflections. More intense reflections suggest tumors. Bopart, a professor of electrical and computer engineering, bioengineering, and medicine, is now testing his equipment in Carle's operating room using real tissue from breast cancer patients.
There's always new things that we're learning, and fortunately the images and the data that we've acquired so far look very good, and we're very optimistic about that. What we see in the operating room is exactly what we've seen when we brought tissue over here. We've also found that there's certain other optical properties we may have to investigate that can even improve our ability to detect and differentiate these different tissue types.
Currently, surgeons must remove tissue, send it to the lab, and examine it under a powerful microscope. But Bopart is developing much smaller OCT technology that could be threaded through a surgical needle. That way, surgeons could pinpoint tumors while the tissue is still in the body. And its benefits don't stop there. Researchers may later be able to adapt the technology to treat other diseases. Breast cancer research is a priority, But Carle's interests extend far beyond one disease. The foundation is currently funding more than 20 projects related to cancer, aging, cardiology, imaging, diabetes, genomic research, and gastroenterology diseases. And one more surprising area, information technology. What do computers have to do with Carle? Many things, according to Dr. Ian Brooks. Brooks is a computer engineer at the National Center for Supercomputing Applications, home to the University of Illinois' supercomputer. He heads a Carle-funded project that calls for NCSA to act as an early detection system for infectious disease and bioterrorism outbreaks. The NCSA gathers chief complaint data from Carle's emergency room, as well as those of other Region 6 hospitals. The computing system crunches the numbers and looks for trends.
We need to be able to determine, is there an outbreak? Now, is this an isolated case, or do we have a whole bunch of people with meningitis coming out of one of the dorms? How can we detect that and let the people who are the point of care providers know what's coming and what to expect? The modeling studies show very clearly that the response time is the single biggest factor in controlling an infectious disease outbreak. So if you can shave just a day off knowing that you have an outbreak, then the potential is thousands of people who don't get sick, who don't get infected, and potentially thousands of people who don't die, depending on the severity and the scale of the outbreak.
The University of Illinois clearly plays a key role in the success of Carle's research. But Carle also has much to offer the scientific community. Physicians know the ins and outs of disease better than anyone. They have the best understanding of how a disease progresses, and they have a better working knowledge of the limitations and side effects of current treatments. Dr. Eugene Greenberg has been treating patients with Crohn's disease for several decades.
I've had a long-standing interest in inflammatory bowel disease, i.e. Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And for years, none of us have known what caused it.
So when U of I scientists approached Greenberg about a new study to search for the root causes of Crohn's disease and other gastroenterology diseases, he jumped at the chance. Now, he's working on a three-pronged study that seeks to establish the connection between GI diseases, genetics, bacteria, and mucin cells.
We're in a unique position at Carle by being affiliated with the University of Illinois, who is now opening up the Genomics Institute. And it gives me a great hope when I talk to patients to tell them that hang in there, because new treatments are down the road and will be here in your time so that we can perhaps treat you even better than we can now.
So far, Greenberg's research and many of Carle's other projects are still in early stages, but we are already seeing some of our other work pay off. Remember specialist Ryan Hobbs, who lost his upper jaw in a roadside explosion in Iraq? After returning to the United States, Hobbs' physician discovered Dr. Michael Goldwasser, an oral surgeon at Carle Clinic. Goldwasser reconstructed the specialist's upper jaw using a special 3D modeling program that he helped create with computer engineers at the University of Illinois.
I had CT scans, which was the 3D scan, which was really amazing because you could actually see the bone loss. He made, I think, 3 or 4 different models of my skull, and they were all pretty interesting. They were very detailed. It looks like almost an artifact you'd see on the History Channel or something.
After removing bone from Hobbs' hip, the surgeon fashioned Hobbs a new jawbone using the model as a guide. While the 3D model has opened up new possibilities for patients, Dr. Goldwasser is even more excited about the potential of his latest project.
The most critical one to me at this point, the one I'm most interested in, is in regenerative biology and tissue engineering. This is mostly involved with trying to regrow bone onto an artificial scaffold, working with mechanical engineers and material scientists at the University of Illinois.